Hi, boss. I've been looking forward to this. Do you have the good news about my promotion?
Hey Sam, yeah, I will cut to the chase and just say that unfortunately it's not good news today. You are not going to be promoted this time around.
All right. I want to be direct too. Can you tell me specifically what held me back? Because from where I stand, I've been leading retros, stepping up on cross-team issues, and exceeding the SLA targets every month. What was missing?
Yeah, and again, I just want to acknowledge all those efforts that you've put in there. As you said, you've had significant milestones and achievements throughout this year. However, there were just a few things missing in this time around. In particular, it was about leading others and the scope of your impact for the projects that you'd been a part of.
Okay, but can you give me a concrete example? Because leading retros and mentoring new staff, those are literally leadership and team impact. I need something more actionable than scope was missing. What does that actually look like in my day-to-day?
Yeah, so at the moment you've been predominantly working on some of our kind of mid-sized projects, working with individual clients. I think the level that you're looking to get to now, we're looking to really start getting you onto cross-client projects where you may be working with a number of clients at the same time.
So what's stopping that? I've raised my hand for those bigger projects multiple times. If the barrier is access, then let's be honest about that instead of making it about my impact. Who decides who gets those assignments?
Yeah, so I'm happy to work with you to start looking at how we can get you onto some of these bigger projects. I think that'll be a really good step forward for you, and you're definitely now at the right opportunity. Coming up in the next 12 months, there's also a lot of opportunities as we're taking on some big client work over the next couple of months. I'm happy to work with you to make sure that you're aligned to that. How does that sound?
I appreciate you saying that, but honestly, I've heard soon and next cycle before. What will actually be different this time? What specific commitments can you make so this doesn't just get pushed off again?
Yeah, I think specific commitments, what we can do, let's sit down next week with the project leader for that project and make sure we can get you aligned to that as quickly as possible and start handing over some of the work that you're working on at the moment.
All right, that's more concrete. I want that meeting on the calendar by end of today. And I want the development plan to be tied to actual deliverables, not just vague goals. I need clarity. What gets me promoted? And who's responsible for tracking it?
Yeah, so let's agree to these next steps. Let's, like I said, meet next week. Let's pull together a very detailed and specific development plan. What I would like to do as well is also get you aligned with some mentors that can help you work through that as well. And obviously me as your manager, I'll kind of work through that with you as well over the next couple of months to make sure that we're building the right momentum. And if at any point we feel like we're not on track, let's talk about what we can do to kind of fix that.
That's fair. But I'm going to hold you to real check-ins. Not just let's touch base. I want monthly reviews, not just a year from now. I'm not letting this drift. I'll own my part, but I expect you to own yours too. Deal?
Yeah, 100%, that's a good deal, and we'll work together and make sure this time next year we have a bit more successful news.
All right, I'll take you at your word, but I'm serious about those check-ins and the specifics. I'm not here to just spin my wheels another year. I expect us both to show up for this. I'll follow up for that meeting invite by end of day.
82 out of 100, not too bad. I'm also in the top 10% of all learners. In that role play, I was practicing delivering the bad news that my employee had not been promoted, and I was practicing a couple of skills. I was practicing delivering news directly and kindly, acknowledging effort and emotions, and providing constructive feedback and support. As you can see, I achieved certain things during the conversation. For example, I acknowledged the employee's effort and contributions during the conversation, a key part of just saying how much they were valued. In Real Talk Studio, you get feedback on each of the skills that are important to this particular role play. As you can see, another achievement in that conversation. But I'm also getting things that help me improve, such as like what I did well with specific examples. I'm also getting areas for growth, areas where that I could maybe do things differently next time. And the last thing, obviously, I'm also getting feedback about whether I achieved the outcome from the conversation, which was that I wanted to at least leave the conversation with a development plan agreed with my employee. which I actually did, which was really good. So that's Real Talk Studio, helping you build confidence and clarity for difficult conversations.